All right. Let's make sure this thing is working before I start posting at places and acting a fool. Testing 1, 2, testing, mic test. Mic test 1, 2. Let me check my stream. All right. Let's make sure this thing is working before I... Sweet. It is working. Cool. Perfect. All right, now let me do my general thing and post everywhere for a second before I get started. Okay. Sweet. All right. This video. We're going to go over a couple different things. This is going to be an advanced version of the last rigging one. So quality assurance for advanced rigs. I'm going to move forward with this one and just need to make sure that I get my stuff posted real quick and then I'll get started. Post. 15th. All right. Post. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna go over quite a bit today. Welcome to the streaming, everybody. I'm gonna go over. This is gonna be was gonna be one that's gonna be multiple different rigs at the same time. So this is gonna be an advanced version of quality assurance for rigging. And I'm going to move forward with just, so I'm going to post. Okay, let's LinkedIn and Twitter. I'm good to go on that. Let me keep my music going. Okay. Post a few more places, then I'm going to get started. Probably just like 2 minutes. Just want to make sure that everyone has the option to see this when if they want to see it. Copy. Okay. Indicate. Paste. Make sure that's actually working. Copy. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it is working. Cool. So it's gonna be, I guess, kind of an interesting one because, yeah. So the last time we went over just a character, and we're gonna go over character, vehicle, prop, 2 props actually, shotgun and a banjo for our character Bucky here. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. Also, we are going to go over a little bit of what we went over last time, the version control software, Mudstack. Shout out again to Mudstack for sponsoring the streams recently. Really appreciate that. It's been awesome. So yeah, I'm just posting a few more places, and then I'm going to get started officially. Okay. All right. Game dev. Cool. All right, let's get started. I think that'll be enough for me on posts. Awesome. All right. I hope everyone can hear me well. I'm gonna keep this running. Let's see here. Awesome. All right, so yeah, what we have here is we have Bucky and his truck. So yeah, we're gonna go over basically 4 rigs in one. This is gonna be quite a lot of stuff going on. As you can see, the outliner, it's pretty heavy. So I guess it's more of like how do you take down such a lofty piece and everything? Like what do you do first? Like what and everything. So I think it's really kind of ambiguous on like how to start something like this insane. But yeah, we've got this back from our the lead animator rigger over at Wildworks. I really appreciate Mr. Baka. He's awesome. Thanks again for all your hard work. And yeah, we're gonna have Mr. Gogan and and Machiavelli working on basically rigs and animations from now on. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, we have a lot to go over here. So first off is like, how do I give feedback and like bug fixes, that kind of stuff. This is what we're going to go over today. Is going to be quality assurance for game art rigs. And so you need to make sure that you have basically your bug log, like word piece. This is kind of how I'm doing it, just for quickness sake, and for visual sake. I'm going to have just a simple Word document that I'm going to work with, along with that goes with like bugs in my function. So if I wanted added function to something, that's like, say if this back hook did not swivel like I want it to, like say, oh, that's not how to a green only. So yeah, if it didn't swivel back and forth, for instance, then I would add that to my function log. So like that would be if I press F, then it would frame on here. If I press F and the outliner, it frames what actually brings me to what this is. So this is the towing parent control. So I would say like function would be the towing parent control, needed functionality, rotation 180 degrees basically on the deep or on the reversed axis. So yeah, basically it would need go to here. So that'd be a function call right here that I would give my rigger, and then bug fixes are pretty obvious, like the weight painting issues, like maybe his teeth are going through his face or something like that. And that would be a bug, right? That's something that's like, this looks bad, that just obviously needs to be adjusted, that kind of stuff. I think we even have this works, I think. Yeah, awesome. We have the shifter working. Awesome. So we have a lot to go through today, and we're going to get started now. All right. So first off, real quick, I'm going to go over some of just, I need to bring my stuff into Mudstack. So basically this is going to be my version control software, my and my backup cloud stuff. So before I get started all this stuff, I'm gonna go to my library section in Mudstack and go to my characters and bring in all my Bucky stuff. Now fortunately, to make things quick, I can actually so like my rigger basically gave me the files for this Maya file, and instead of keeping it on my drive or keeping it on my actual computer and everything and wasting space, I'm going to bring it directly into my Mudstack software from cloud. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. So this is my finished rigs, and this is my whole finished rigs. This is going to take a while because it's the whole zip file for my finished rigs. This is all my Mallet stuff, my Bucky stuff, and so actually what I actually can do is actually bring stuff in as a whole zip file, or I can bring stuff in as individual files to make sure it's going to be good. So I'm going to unzip this stuff but right now, while it's going, I'm going to keep on trucking with this. So how do you get started on this big, insane rig? So we have our Maya, we have our bug and function log, and then we have our pictures. So I'm going to go with basically screenshots of like the bugs, for instance. So I'm going to flex something. So say if this door was not working, or it was, say this like clipping error right here. If I cared about this clipping error enough, then I would go ahead and screenshot this and annotate a small thing, and then bring it into Photoshop for visual sake. So I'm actually going to have, I think having Photoshop here is fine. And I can basically drag and drop those screenshots onto Photoshop. But yeah, so I think it's going to be good. All right. If you have PureRef works just fine as well. I actually think PureRef is going to be a really good call as well. If I bring everything into PureRef, then I can actually do just a screenshot of my PureRef. So Photoshop is one of them. I did this last time, and then PureRef is another one. So I'm actually going to bring PureRef this time. So I'm going to annotate directly on my screenshots and then bring it into PureRef this time. Just see how it goes. And then bring it into Photoshop. All right, cool. So going into here. So you can see that if I hold on Shift and I click on this button right here, the plus button, then it'll actually unfold like all of the stuff happening in the outliner. So this is a little bit insane at first, but it gets more manageable over time. So before I jump into this, I think I should see the mesh section over here. So if I hide a few things, it might be easier to see what's happening, or I can actually move these roots above or below, so I can kind of see what's happening through here. So this is basically my root handle, or kind of like where the hand would snap to for the shotgun. And I can see where that starts on my outliner by pressing F over the outliner. So yeah, here it is. Props root C, and then a gun root and a whole gun root C. So let's go ahead and do the shotgun first, just as a as a starter, and get this out of the way. So what does my shotgun actually have? It has basically the handle. It has a couple different bones, right? It has these different pieces, right? I'm not gonna ever do that. These are my scaling bits. So basically, as the I guess the shot is going through, it's going to scale these different sections over time. Very much rubber hosey kind of feel. So like this, and then this one is my final explosion right outside the barrel. And that's looking really fun. I'm really looking for on here any kind of clipping that's going to be happening with, so say if the barrels expand and the wood also expanded, like say like a vertice also pulled, then that would be a bug. So let's see if there's anything like that's happening. It looks like even if I give it some extreme pulls and pushes, there's no vertices being affected. So that's a good sign. Let's go ahead and do here. It's feeling good. And so I'm pulling to my extremes, right? And that's not saying I'm ever gonna have this functionality where it's going to like fly up here, but it's needed for yeah, it's basically just needed for just to make sure that there's no vertices being affected, or that there's no influence, basically. All right, so let's check out this handle. This is just my rotator. Yep. So this is my rotation handle. So when he's going to reload, he'll basically like pop the front stock pieces and everything, and it'll fall over. He's gonna reload manually. And because it's a kart racer, you're never going to see this, or at least that's what it would be normally. You're never going to see something like that that's going to be tucked away. We're actually going to have him face the player, put bullet 1, bullet 2, like basically snap it back, and then flip back around. So I want this to be a very visual animation of him reloading, because during the reload, he can't actually fire again, or he can't actually do any basic attacks. So he basically, with Bucky, he can shoot twice. There's a double barrel shotgun, kind of like a sawed-off. And after his second shot, similar to Graves in League, he actually has to do 1, 2, reload. And so I want people to see why he can't shoot again is because he's reloading, right? All right, so back to it. So we have this rotator. He reloads these bullets. These should be the bullets. Yeah, they are. So basically, these are the grabbers, or the influence bits for the shotgun shells. So that's awesome that those are available and so obvious to me what was happening here. That's good. The wood is stable every single all the time. The wood follows the barrel, so it's been parented properly. That's looking good. All right, so this is the handle. This is the thing that moves everything in world space. So that's looking good too. One thing to do is for each individual piece is to make sure it doesn't have influence over any of the other meshes. So if I pull this away, far away, for instance, like this, and there was any influence on any of the meshes, then you see like a random vertice pulling up from like the character or vehicle or the other prop or something like that, right? So, but that's not happening. That's great. So that means that there's nothing influenced by the other meshes, which it shouldn't be. But I mean, this is what we decided to do is instead of having multiple rigs that were separate in Chaos Kart, we decided to have everything be all on one rig. So you have individual rigs that are parented or children of the main route, which would be the vehicle route right here, because everything follows the vehicle, right? All right, so let's see. This is the handle as well. So you have the grabber moves the whole thing in space. However, this is yeah. Let's see. I think I'm missing the trigger actually. Hold on. That'd be goofy. Yeah, I think the trigger is missing. Let me. I'm gonna bring this back down. We'll Control Z a couple times and see what happened to the dang trigger. I think it's missing. Is the trigger inside the weapon? It's not. I think the trigger has been deleted. Alright, so that's a bug here. So trigger in shotgun. Trigger in shotgun mesh has been deleted. So I'll need to head and update that. I'll do a quick screenshot of this because it's I mean, it is obvious what's happened. I'm actually kind of surprised that that's happened. Maybe it's hidden. I hope it's not like just hidden. So let's see, shotgun. I'm gonna grab the shotgun and see. Yeah, nothing is hidden here. It'd be like this like dark gray bit right here if it was if something was hidden. So that being said, let's go ahead and make this my first bug. So no shotgun trigger, and then I will do basically my print screen. And there we go. And then I'll do a quick annotation right here. Okay. Copy. And then I'll bring this into my PureRef. And then I'll paste into my PureRef. Paste. Okay. Just into my... Yep. And this is my first bug, right? So this is... Well, actually, what I should do is... let's do this one more time. So I'm going to have this, and then I'm gonna number it, right? So I'm going to annotate that... You know, trigger missing, and this is the first bug, right? So I'm going to copy this and then bring it into here. So I'm going to paste here. Delete. That's fine. Awesome. So that's ready to go. And my PureRef. PureRef is awesome. You can just copy and paste in it, and it's like a really fast, lightweight tech. All right, cool. So yeah, the shotgun is good to go. Really, it's really just the trigger, which is a very important part of a shotgun. That yeah, that's other than that, it's solid. Right. So, all right. So I'm gonna move over to meshes again, and within the meshes, I'm going to go ahead and just hide my shotgun. So that'd be Control H, right? I'm just hiding it, just so it's out of the way and we know it's finished, right? So let's move on to the, let's say the vehicle for now. Let's do the vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and for right now, I'm gonna go to hide, Control H, everything but the vehicle. Well, the problem with that is that you have, I'm just gonna move the vehicle. I think I'm just gonna move the vehicle out of the way, so that it's not clipping through. Because even if I hide the everything but the vehicle, unfortunately it still keeps all the rig stuff for the other props and everything, the character and everything. So by moving the actual it in like actual space, then I'm actually separating it, you know, very manually like that. So I think this is a better way of doing it. So going into here, let's see the functionality. So we have when he gets hit, I kind of wanted this thing to pop open, so that's looking cool. And it's free, you know, it's basically I can move it around. Like I just wanted as much freedom as possible, in case we like it takes enough damage, then the whole thing pops off or something like that, right? All right, there's nothing really happening in the front. Let's see, the wheels are blueprinted, so we don't actually have to have rigged on the wheels, but we have them anyway for right now. just in case something changes with the tech. We have the bend bits that bends the front and back, so let's make sure that that's working. And here's the back side, which is really funny probably to see. Yeah. So basically, if say if he gets hit in the back and everything, a hit react could be basically like where this whole thing pops up, and it's kind of a little squash and stretch bit. So that'd be really fun. Also, yeah, both doors do fly open, and as you can see, the mirror stays with it, and so does the handle. Right? You have it's pretty simple, and then the hinges are in place, and even though this happens where even though basically like it clips through, and the hinges don't technically like move and everything, this is gonna be something that's so fast. Basically, the doors will only move when Bucky say like he like kicks or punches a door open and does kind of like a little like melee kind of thing. Then that would be a way that that the doors would fly open and everything. So this is not going to happen often, and when it does happen, it's going to happen very quickly. So, but yeah, the main thing is to note is that the handle and the mirror follow the door, so they're basically connected correctly. All right, so let's move on to the inner workings of the vehicle. So to here. Oh, I need to actually grab the right one. So this is the rotator right here, the yellow. And welcome to the stream, everybody. So basically, this is working well, right? This should, like, all these pieces should be able to, like, basically pop off or maneuver. So and I asked for that kind of freedom. So basically, if it's getting jostled, then it could, you know, move this way too, this kind of thing. Be kind of fun. Here's the windshield wiper thing. I thought it'd be kind of fun to have that. And so yeah, you can tell that the like this is kind of moving up and down, which I think is pretty funny. Then we have the actual handle. Yeah. So basically, if I grab this handle, then it automatically snaps me to down here, and that's perfect. Cause I don't want it to like rotate within its own axis right here. I want it to rotate from the steering wheel. So that's looking good. All right, cool. Moving on. We have the shifter, and I noticed that this was working earlier. And see, this is actually a pretty funny one. This is like a little leather piece right here, kind of like those old school leather shifters. A lot of older vehicles have them. And I was getting some reference from these tow trucks. A lot of these tow trucks had these shifters that had like these like leather wrap thing, and then it comes with a metal pole. Anyway, I made them so big because I wanted them visible from the front and that kind of stuff. So it's literally just going to move probably like or side to side, right? So that's looking pretty solid. Even though these don't move, the basically the gas pedals and everything, honestly, it's not a huge deal. You're never going to see inside the chassis. Like, he's going to be blocking that anyway. I wanted to have it just in case there was any kind of shots without him in it, and it could kind of have a beauty shot of the vehicle. I don't want to have no, you know, like, where's the gas pedal? That'd be kind of silly. But I don't need functionality of the gas pedal. So everything's looking pretty solid so far. He's doing a really good job. All right, let's see what these back things do. I actually haven't seen this yet. So these actually move. This is gonna be great, actually. I didn't know he was gonna do this. But so these can jostle on his hit react. So maybe it's a little clunkier vehicle, and so maybe these will actually can jostle around as he gets smacked around, or as he's boosting, maybe it can like just like jiggle. So that's actually great that he did that. I didn't know he did that. Yeah, Machiavelli's the lead rigger animator, Wildworks, and he knows what he's doing. We have the bottom, kind of like the exhaust pipe and everything, right? So this should be parented to this. This is going to be fluctuating, right? This is going to be scale fluctuating. The exhaust will basically pop up and down scale right, as it's basically driving or just doing his idle. And then we have here, which will kind of do the same. We can rubber hose. Or what I wanted to do is every time it landed, right? Every time the truck landed, that this would actually smack on the ground. So that's the reason why I didn't have it fully attached to the bottom of the vehicle. It'll smack on the ground. So anyway, these are actually really solid. I know hard surface things are a little bit easier to rig and paint late than other stuff, but everything is functioning just the way it should. I'm not too worried about the wheels again because the wheels are actually currently blueprint wheels. So I'm not actually worried about the rig for this. So I think that yeah. So the shotgun not having the trigger, that's the main problem so far. Vehicle ready to go. So I'm really liking the stuff we have going on for the vehicle. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna actually bring the shotgun back for right now, just because I'm moving everything. So let's go with, let's see, what is this? Shotgun, and this might be both actually. Okay, yeah, this is the shotgun and banjo. So I'm gonna go with banjo, and I'm gonna do Bucky last, just to have some stuff. Let's see, have that be like the finale is the Bucky himself. So we went through the shotgun. I'm trying to find the banjo. The banjo's kind of tucked away over here. There he is. Boop, got him. Let's bring that banjo out here. F. All right, cool. So here's the banjo that I built for him. So the banjo is gonna be strapped on his back, kind of like a any kind of weapon would be in everything, an RPG, kind of Blizzard kind of thing, or whatever. So it's gonna be here. So it's pretty much always visible, and he'll be basically having a shotgun at all times. So he'll be. The idea for Bucky basically is that he'll be most of his body. That's why I made him so tall. Is that he'll be swiveling above his truck, and so he basically will be kind of tucked over here above his truck and driving with his feet. So like his left foot basically would go on the gas pedal, and his right foot will actually be driving the it's really goofy. The right foot will be propped up on the steering wheel, and the left foot will be actually doing the gas and brake while he's trying to shoot. And so he basically would be popped up the top like this, like a tank, and rotating for his basically his tank shot. All right. So anyway, so yeah, his banjo will be on his back. His shotgun will be usually in his hands or on his lap, and oh, one thing I forgot to mention with the that was the back of the truck actually, real quick. So these are that's for Bucky. So we have this able to rotate, right? It's a tow truck. He'll have tow truck abilities, so he'll be able to grab onto an enemy vehicle for a short amount of time, similar to a Skarner ult, and be able to drag someone around with him. So we need to have a rotating ability. I have no window in the back, so he can actually use his right hand to rotate this whole thing. So let's go straight here. So this will actually rotate along for for when he's trying to reel someone in, basically. So when he attaches someone, it's going to look like he's reeling them through, and as he's reeling, then this is going to basically pop down and latch onto an enemy vehicle. And we're thinking about having an ally vehicle snap on too. So basically, say if an ally just got hit by a weapon or something like that, then he's able to give them a friendly hitch, where basically all it really is, you don't actually have control over your ally vehicle. We don't want to have like a trolling potential. So basically, you would snap onto a ally vehicle and then boost their movement speed, but you don't actually, like, if they drive away from you, they have full control over the vehicle. They can choose to drive away from you, but an enemy vehicle cannot drive away from you. And then we have a little bit of rope movement, right? So that'd be really good. As this is going down, we can have it animate to where while this is latches, this either kind of moves forward or it's kind of just bobbing up and down. And this should be, yeah, this is your swing. So that'll be good. Awesome. So yeah, that was all the functionality that I wanted. The one thing I noticed was that this has a little bit of charm, a little bit of character with this rotation, where this handle is actually kind of going in circles, and I'm not sure if I like that too much. I would normally want it centered and not having so much kind of like odd movement here. However, only because it's Bucky and I want him to be kind of a little bit janky, right? I want his vehicle to be a little bit janky as far as like it, being a little bit rusted and a little bit. it could have better days, right? That's why I'm okay with the rotation being a little bit janky. All right, so let's move on to the second prop, his banjo, right? His banjo is he'll basically have a spin attack, and he'll be playing like bluegrass, a quick bluegrass like sound thing or whatever, or like little riff basically, and do a spin attack. During the spin attack, he'll be alive. If he has anyone hooked, then he'll basically toss them in that direction as he's doing a spin. He can actually toss them. So basically, it could be a way for people to get out of the track. So this would be strapped to his back, but during the spin attack, he'll pop it out, play a quick riff at the player, and then put it back on. Considering giving him a shield while he's doing this, but I don't want to overpower him, so we'll see. Anyway, so I wanted the strings to be able to move while he's doing his riff, right? So right now we have the world movement, right? We have world space movement kind of thing. And we have the strings. Perfect. So he actually did more than I thought he was going to do with the strings, where based off of where the pick will go, it looks like these vertices actually follow. That's really dope, actually. So yeah, basically I want it to like kind of like that kind of thing while he's doing his riff, because he's gonna be facing the player, and I wanted that to be pretty obvious what he's doing. So I could either have double follow, where I can do like that kind of thing, but if these vertices follow, I could almost average them out where he's going to be striking with his pick, and have it move around. That's really cool. Alternatively, I wanted him just as a maybe secondary idle kind of thing, where he is tuning his tuners right over here, as either like while he's idling waiting for a player to choose him, or if he's just kind of doing a fun idle while he's waiting for the track to start, right? We basically just like he's turned around toward the player and he's like tuning his banjo and kind of strumming at it and everything a little bit, kind of like a guitarist would do. So yeah, I wanted this functionality where the tuner can twist, and it looks like he actually did a one for all of them. So all these tuners twist. Looks like, yep, and they're all facing the right direction. They're all rotating the right direction. Looks like, yeah, no weirdness there. Yep, he's got a little soul banjo for sure. Awesome. I'm not sure what this does. It's probably just okay. This is, I guess, if he does like a wild animation and maybe his hand goes up and this strums down or something like that, then maybe the whole neck can actually just move around. So let's see that movement. All right, so if we have an animation where he's grabbing the neck here and strumming at the same time, we'll basically just have to make these follow this movement, where it can feel like very stretched out and poppy, like wow, like that. So that'd be really cool. So I'm glad he added that too. So right now it doesn't look that great because it's not following, but that's fine because we can just have it animate where it follows. Sweet. So yeah, there's nothing that I can see here that's a problem. That's a bug. The neck looks like it stretches pretty easily, kind of like skin would. The world follow is good. Like there's nothing that really supposed to move over here. He wouldn't like tune these things. Like it'd only be like this tuner. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So yeah, we have string movement when he strums. We have neck movement, and then we have his tuner movement. That's awesome. Perfect. So I'm gonna move this back. Let's go ahead and Control Z a couple times. Cool. F to frame. Awesome. Okay, so we have gone over the shotgun, we've gone over the banjo, which we just hid, and we've gone over the truck itself. So let's go over Bucky. Right? Let's go over Bucky. I've gone over we have a rigging tutorial for Bucky on Udemy. If anyone who's interested, we have a Udemy tutorial fully for Bucky. But let's go over Bucky because it's a little bit different than it used to be. Now that Bucky's a part of the whole like major rig, right? He's part of the whole machine now. So it's a lot different than it was. Let me see if I can grab his mesh. Maybe that'll. Nope, that won't work. So it has locked transforms right now because it's all part of this, and we don't want to break it. So we need to actually find how to move Bucky around. So I'm gonna look up Bucky on the outliner. So I'm actually really impressed. We haven't had a whole lot of bugs or function needs yet, and I was pretty clear about what I wanted from him. But this is actually really solid. So let's see if I can find Bucky root. We need to find his root. Elbow joint. So, okay, so right off the bat, this is it. This is him. Main control. Okay, so yeah, that is Bucky. So I'm gonna find this. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So root control is Bucky. So it just doesn't say Bucky. So it just says root control. So yeah. So right off the bat, there is these vertices popping right here. So that is a problem. That means that something is weighted more toward either the this area or another mesh. See, that's a great way for stress testing. See, as I move it further, the vertices are stretching more toward that part. However, that may not be a problem, only because like maybe these vertices are attached to the seat. However, let me test this real quick. This is actually going to be a functional thing. Is when he's standing up, do these verts move? Do these verts stretch? We do not want some. Yeah, it does. So we don't want this crotch stretching thing to happen while he's standing up, because if he's standing up with one leg up on his so let's see how it'll look. So this is probably how he's gonna be, right? Is going to be here, and then we're gonna have one leg seemingly on the brake, and then the other leg is going to be up on the steering wheel. So I'm just kind of moving this leg over, and that's gonna look really silly right now because the knee finders are over here, so it's gonna look super broken. That's okay though. All right, let's move him back a little bit so he's not clipping into the steering wheel. And so we're just testing what's actually going to be happening in the scene for his animation. So he'll basically be having his foot up here on the steering wheel, steering back and forth. I do kind of want him in the middle a little bit like that. I like that a lot. Just showing him in the middle. So you'd be kind of like this. It's really kind of silly. And then here's his wrist things. So this is very much like how he'll be. So here, and then this wrist will be up here. Okay, just wanting to flick back. That's fine. But it's just because of my rotation. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem. I'll have to make sure that that's going to be, that he can actually move his wrist that way. And let's see if that does it here. Yeah, for some reason it just wants to kick back on me. Alright, so actually what I can do for here is I can actually do a GIF of why it's tripping, right? So like, hey, this is what's going on. Yeah, looks like he's wanting to make sure his wrists are going in a certain direction, and it has this like a refresh kind of thing. So it's not letting me actually do. If he had a shotgun here, then it wouldn't function right. So what I'm gonna do is go to screen to GIF, and then so if I have something that I can't really explain in a picture, then I'm gonna do screen to GIF. Alright, so this is the main things I would use. So screen to GIF, record, and then you actually want to shrink down screen to GIF a lot to make sure that it's keeping the GIF small. Screen to GIF is great for bugs. So like this. Alright, so I'm gonna record what's happening to this the wrist. You see it's constantly snapping back. So that's not gonna be great for the shotgun. Alright, and then screen to GIF is awesome because you can. Let's go into here, and I'm gonna go ahead and save. Or what I can do is I can edit first, make sure I start moving it around. Here it is. All right, so then I'm going to delete previous because I just want to keep as less frames as possible on the screen to GIF. All right, here we go. Delete next. Yes. Awesome. All right, so now that I have all those frames that I'm wanting, I can, I'm gonna shrink it down a little bit. Actually, I don't need the whole screen to be screen to GIF. All right, and then I'm going to, let's go ahead and play it and see how it looks. So yeah, I'm basically showing that, hey, this is not working. So yeah, I actually didn't mean to delete all of those. Let's see, edit, and then delete previous. Yes. Because I need to actually see that it's snapping from multiple different angles like that. So, but I just can't do all of those just for size sake. So, cool. I think I'm gonna show two. So this one and that one. All right, and then I will delete all next frames, and then I'm gonna save out. So save as. And this will be not mud stack. I'll have it in mud stack just for right now, but basically it's going to be Bucky wrist rotation bug, right? So I'm gonna save. So anything that I can't really explain in a screenshot, that's how I'm gonna pull it off. So that's completed. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna exit out now. Sure you want to exit? Yes. There. All right, cool. So yeah, but yeah, basically this is what I wanted to figure out was how. So this is how he's gonna basically be driving some of the time when he's shooting out the front. This wrist is doing fine. So basically it'd be here, and let's bring a shotgun up just so you can kind of see a little bit visual of how it's gonna look. So this is going to be on his back. Oh, it's way too large. I'm not sure what happened there. I accidentally made that way too big. But yeah, the shotgun is going to be basically right here, and he'll rotate back and forth to basically faux cannon, or yeah, faux tank. All right, so yeah, so we can already tell that there's going to be a problem here with the crotch because the crotch has vertices that stretch along when he's moving. So these are the problem areas like this. So now that I'm able to see my wireframe a little bit more, I can show easier which ones are messing up. So it's just like a few vertices. It's really easy to happen. So it's really not a big problem. When I was doing QA for Smash, there was constant bug fixes that needed to be like that for or quality assurance bug fixes and everything. So, but it's just really how it goes sometimes. So yeah, I think we have a few bugs here on the crotch area that basically are trying to follow either the seat. And the main reason why I need it to be a bug is because he stands up. And so if he was sitting down the entire time, I wouldn't even care about this, right? But he's not. I actually wonder if this is. So that's my elbow controller, but the wrist controller I think is somewhere else. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna pull back for a second and just show him isolated, so it's easier to kind of see what's happening with just him. So let's go over to root control, pull him forward. All right, this will be easier to isolate those issues. So yeah, here's the crotch problems in question, right? So let's go ahead and screenshot this. Screenshot. Annotate. Oops. Do that again. Screenshot. Annotate. These are going that way. This is gonna be my second bug. Copy. Now paste this into my PureRef. All right, so on Bucky. Let's see. Vertices. Moving towards seat. when stands up. So yeah, this is a very simple simple bug that could be easily fixed, right? But you can see it looks pretty bad. There's some vertices up in the front. That is just that's part of the issue, right? So it's like there's a couple more vertices in the front like these that weren't seen as easily. So it's good to kind of see it from multiple angles. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another screenshot. Annotate. It's still the same bug. So 2. Copy and paste it into PRF. All right, cool. So other than that bug, let's see if there's any other bugs. Let's see. So I think I should have movement like I was showing before. This being able to move, right? Looks pretty solid. Other than these stretching bits, looks pretty solid movement, right? Awesome. All right, the other foot, to make sure there's not any other vertex issues. That's moving pretty nicely. And for characters, it's more important that you have some clean gradient of paint weights. So for instance, as I'm moving this, see it's kind of stretching this hip. That's a great way to look at things. So like, and remember, only report bugs that is going to be in the range of your animations, right? So if I'm up here and I'm having kick forward like this, for instance, and there was like some kind of weird bug that just happened a little bit during this large kick that he'll never do, then don't even worry about it, right? That's big budget kind of problems, right? Which I guess if you are big budget, then that's your problem. So a big problem area is probably going to be the hips, right? Because there's so many different meshes happening here, right? It probably would have been a lot easier if I were to make this Bucky character, right? If I would have made him where the belt and the belt loops were actually baked into the pants, but I decided to make them separate for whatever reason. I decided to make them separate, you know, and so that might be an issue. I wanted to have kind of that old school feel, and I wanted everything to be in silhouette, so that's the big reason why I did that. But yeah, let's check these hips, right? So it's not really that's the problem. Is going to be like his rotation. So let's try rotating here and see how everything moves. So this, right, his suspenders are flexing really well on the back and front, while still keeping the connection here and here. It has a little bit of jankiness here, but it's because he wanted it 100%, this bottom part here, and so I'm not too worried about that flexing. It's actually super solid for what it is. It's really complex stuff happening here, so it's good to have all pieces actually working properly. Right, so let's go ahead and flex this way and this way. Looking good. So here, some areas of concern could be like maybe this edge would clip outside, and so if it's not like 100% centered inside these vertices inside the pants, then there's like still another maybe a face or two inside these pants that could pop out the sides. So that'd be something to look into, right? So like something like this, he'll never do something like this, and even if it does, it'll be very brief. Like if he got shot or something like that, or hit really hard, then then that might happen for a second. But it'd probably only be like a bull like this, like ooh kind of thing. But yeah, it's very unlikely, and it'll be kind of hidden, and he's kind of far away, so it's not a huge deal. So this character is going to be about this far away. So anything that's going to be very minor, I'm not worried about it. This crotch deal is a problem, right? But other stuff may not be. Let's check here. Or no, here's the hip movement. So yeah, this is what I was looking for before. So let's go ahead and rotate my hips and see if there's any issues alongside this belt and belt loops. This is about the most rotation that he's ever going to do in the game. You can see there's a little bit happening right here, right? So as I'm rotating here, There's a little bit of clipping happening in the back, but it's really not bad enough, and he's never going to rotate that heavily for it to ever happen. So I'm not going to report that bug. Let's check the front. By the way, if you ever want to get into quality assurance, this is something that you might do, or something that you may not be this much into Maya and everything, but you probably will do something similar to this by testing it, the animations, and making sure there's no issues. All right, so in this hip movement, these things warp pretty heavily, but that can't really be helped, unfortunately. So what we'll have to do instead of him rotating his hips much is going to be rotating his upper body like this. So like as he's rotating, we'll have to have him like gradiently maneuvering like that. That's probably the fix for that kind of thing, is that yeah, there's not much that could be done about that, so that'll be the way. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the second spine bone. Everything's flexing really well. We have, this is not really following right here. So say like if I do this, this is actually stretching this top. The reason why I'm not worried about that too much is because it will likely follow this first bone, so like this, and then like I was saying with the gradient like this. So I guess he could not have this be influenced at all, right? These vertices influenced. So I could report this. It's kind of hard to say because like it's the front of him, and so like this here's an issue. Okay, so here's one that I would report, where like this sliding happening is not going to work really that well for this top. So I'm gonna do another screen to GIF. Or no, I'm not. I'm gonna just do a screenshot. So I'll do here, click on this W, or like E to rotate. And so as he's rotating his upper body, so he's gonna constantly be rotating the upper body like this. The whole gradient thing again. And then like these will rotate with him. Okay, now the hand's actually functioning properly, so that's interesting. Not sure why that changed. All right, yeah. So this is happening a bit, and I'm gonna report this one just because I think it is substantial enough to be reported. So as he's rotating this, and this, it may not be that much that can be done about this part. So I'm gonna screenshot and annotate. Let's say like this area is being problematic, right? It's sinking in and kind of warping. Also, this one doesn't know what to do with itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and paste. Oops. That would be my third bug. So let's go ahead and, oh, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and redo my screenshot. So annotate here, here, here. This is my third bug. Copy and paste. Like that. All right. So that'd be let's find out what bone that is, and I can call that bone. So if I press F on my outliner again, I'll click on this real quick. That would be up chest control. Bucky. Up chest control. Buttons warp. And stretch. Buttons warp and stretch. Up chest underscore control. So I'm gonna just kind of following this rotation, right? So we're rotating this bone. So I'm calling the bone and I'm calling what's happening and how it's happening, right? So that you can follow that instruction. All right, let's go ahead and do the hand again. So make sure that that's not a bug. I have this nice really fun squash and stretch as well. Just in case we want that. And let's go ahead and rotate. All right, let's see these hands. All right, so the main thing is that it follows, the fingers follow, and there's not any kind of like weird clipping and movement, right? So it's looking good. So yeah, so if I was moving this top finger, something you might want to look into is that, like, say like this thumb is not moving. There's no influence anywhere else. So a good way to just easily find it if there's any influence problem is to stress test it real quick. So I'm gonna move this pinky away over here. There's no palm vertices moving with it, so we know it's good, at least within its other parts. Now if we move these fingers, we'll see if it actually moves well within itself. And it's good. Awesome. So the hand is good. It's likely mirrored weights, but I'm gonna check anyway just to make sure. Stress test. No verts moving. Stress test. No verts moving. Stress test. No verts moving. Well, let's see. One vert moving. Yeah, over here. But is it gonna be worth fixing, because it's like that one vertex is moving with this. So let's, if I move this, move this, move this. See, it is visually moving, but it's let's see if there's any other vertices that are also connected. So these two are connected. Actually, a couple of them are, I think. Yeah, these three or something like that. So I think it's this line. Let me just check real fast. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So I'm gonna do. If I go to my rigging, I go to skin. Paint weights. Oops, I'm gonna go to, let's see, here. Skin. Paint weights. Okay, root joint. Let's grab this one again. Let's go F. Actually, yeah, I think I might pass on this one just because it's so minor. But I will report it at least. So if let me see if it's happening here. So some of the fingers are moving some of the palm on both hands. Okay, so, but it is very minor, but I just wanted to have it reported. So annotate. So when this curls, some of these move. My fourth bug. Copy. Paste. Alright, so when the fingers move on either hand, some of the palm have influence. Influence. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so we're almost done. Let's see what else we got. We have the clavicle. So clavicle moves up and down. It can maneuver this this area. Make sure that we the clavicle doesn't accidentally like clip through this. So it looks like it's moving just fine. All right, let's try the other clavicle. It's only gonna have this kind of movement right this. That feels pretty good in my opinion. So I think that's doing pretty well. You're never gonna be this far down, so don't report something like this. All right, for this, I haven't done this movement. So yeah, this is definitely an issue on this one. It just has some vertices that are just not connecting properly, or that are just making it clip too bad. So this happens. So the second button is just having some problems. All right, so we got the hat. Oh, no, that's not the hat. That's his head and neck. All right, so here's a big problem. We have a lot of paint weighting errors with the hair getting caught into the hat. So that is the star, is the hat. So let's go ahead and report these. Copy. Oops. Let me go ahead and do it again. Annotate. Obviously all the issues as the hat goes up. It's gonna be my 5. And yeah, so that's definitely a big issue. So let's go ahead and report that. Paste. So yeah, right now the hair is on a few vertices. Is just having some struggles when this hat moves. And that's only an issue because so maybe his hat will never officially be taken off, but maybe on his when he gets hit, his hat will pop up or something like that, or he might have a gesture where he's taking his hat off for someone, whatever, from left to right, and that won't be good, right? So that'll be a big issue. Here is his head influence. So for here, let's make sure that there's no the hair isn't being attached to the collar or something like that. That's feeling pretty good. Maybe there's the ears. That's pretty funny actually. So yeah, his ears are so dominant on his face that he wanted to have some ear influence. That's really funny. All right, and then this is, I think, just the head here. So I don't really know what's supposed to be. This maybe it's just supposed to maneuver with his hair or his head. I actually don't know what that bone is. Let's find out what that bone is. F. Ear control. Head control. So yeah, this is my head control right here. What is this? Head control mid joint. Okay, that's what it is. So it's gonna control some of the head, right? I think that's fine. I think we have nose control. Gotta love that. This nose can whap back and forth. All right, so we're getting into the nitty gritty bits. Let's figure out what else we gotta do. I'm not seeing any eye control, which I think is a bit strange. Maybe they're hidden. We have brow. Dog solid, and then these can move these individual pieces a little bit easier. This moves everything all as a whole. That's looking pretty good. Okay, looks like that one is actually catching on to one of the hair pieces. So this one's fine. but then this one has cognitive vertice here. So as I move this, we have these 2 issues. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and report that. Let's go ahead and annotate. Bug 6. Copy. Paste. Alright, yeah, so 5 is hair. Hair vertices are caught with the hat. And then the 6th one is right eyebrow movement effects. Hair vertices. Alright, cool. These are nostrils? Yeah, we got some nostrils. So yeah, I think that we should have some eye things. I'm just not seeing them. So this is the whole nose. You have the whole nose right here, and then you have the nostrils, and you have the tip of the nose. That's really funny. Yeah, because the nose and the ears are such a dominant part of his face. That's really cool to have those. I actually wonder if there's a face thing over here. So let me see, because there's got to be face bits here. So clavicle, head, neck. Ear, base of nose, brow, jaw, okay. So yeah, I need to find these eyes. Where are these eyes at? Master eyeball control? Where's that at? Root. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay, so before, the eyeball control was part of, like, it by the eyes, but then there's this. So this will have both the eyes following. You can kind of see a little bit, kind of creepy. The eyes will actually follow this whole thing, or you can have them, for some reason, doing kind of like this weird thing where it's only one eye is moving. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, so that is soothing, knowing that's actually fixed. Okay, so that's cool. Let me see. There's got to be an eye blink. So we have eye rotate, eyeball. I think there was a blink. I swear there is. I can't scale. Usually it'd be scale would be my blink. Or like the brow would be able to like bring it down, and then that would be your blink, but that's not how it works for him for sure. So yeah, I'll have to ask about that. I think it's got to be like this. You got to grab this, and then I'm sure there's got to be some kind of control that allows for him to blink. So I'm gonna try to find it real quick. Okay, I'll have to ask my rigger for the blinking stuff. But all right, so last thing is his mouth. Okay, he won't have a whole lot of movement, but I still want a little bit more than this. I feel like it's just not as much vertice movement as I want it to be. So he can kind of curl up and down. But I want him to, so if I was going to have him do like a big smirk like this, big cartoony smirk, it's not really going as far as I'd like it to go. So I want to see if he can have it affect more verts. It's really not too bad. You can go pretty far. Let's see how this looks. He opens his mouth. Got that amazing dental work going on. I like that actually. Makes him look more grumpy when he just has that. Anyway, definitely not. Alright, so yeah, he can kind of do this. I can have it rotate a bit. Yeah, so you can kind of concave or convex, kind of pull in. You know, that's actually fine. That's enough movement. I'm gonna keep this moved up for right now. I think this is part of the lips. Yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. So you have different parts of the lips that can move as needed. There's a little bit of weirdness happening here, but I don't think that'll be a problem. Okay, actually, it kind of is. Let's grab this one. Yeah, I'm just going to report these. So I'm going to annotate now this one and this one. So as these move, this vertex is connected that is affected. So I'm actually, like, I need to, so yeah, these are the verts that matter. So I'm gonna just make it easier and say these two verts, and they move out. Right, this is gonna be my 7. Copy, paste. Awesome. Let's check out these. That's clean. That's clean. Clean again. Alright, so he has a really... maybe I can have his tongue have some movement, but that's not a huge deal for me, for Bucky. So I think... I think it's looking pretty solid. So yeah, my main thing is, I think function, I don't have blinking. So I'm gonna add that to my first thing. Blinking, function. Alright, and we've gone through basically every single bone, everything. We have, these are the follows, like the elbow follows, right? So these are fine. Feeling pretty good. Awesome. Yes, yeah, so we've gone through everything. So now basically you can see how you see how you basically do an advanced like rigging, QA, quality assurance kind of test thing. You can see how it's managed. I'm moving back. There we go. All right. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, but we went through a lot of it. We found a few bugs. It's primarily on Bucky and just the fact that there's no trigger on the gun. We need to find that trigger. That's eyebrow. Eyebrow movement. See what we have here. Then we have the gums. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 7. 7 is the gums. Or lips. Lips move some teeth. Verts. Vertices. Alright, and then we have that's where we had 8. I think that was 8. I'm gonna actually put him in position. So 1, 2, 3. This is okay. I had 2 for 2. That's what that is. So then 3. Alright, so now I'm going to grab all these and then Control Alt up and then shift them over, so Control down. That was fun. And then I can do like Control Pack. No, I don't like that. I like this. Oh, this looks better. All right, cool. So yeah, now you can kind of see what I do with this and how I add bugs and add functions. So really, for functionality, and shotgun shoot with trigger. Yeah, there was no trigger, so we need that function. All right, yeah. So blinking and shoot with trigger. Awesome. So yeah, we have all of our stuff. So we need to send this over to our rigger slash animator, right? To send him this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one screenshot of just the different bugs that are happening. So I'm gonna make this pretty big, right? And then I will screenshot all these at one time, if it'll let me, which it should. Oh, it's because PRF is on the top. I think I can just do this. So let's see, mode. I'll turn that off. And then now I can screenshot it. Yeah, so PRF is wants to always be on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. I'm gonna put that mode back on. So like it'll be on the top. So all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move my PRF away real quick and put it all on my Photoshop real quick. And so here we go. Well, actually, what I can do is I can put it on, yeah, I can put it on Photoshop right now. So I can file, paste, make it big. Cool. All right, so now I have my Photoshop screenshots of the different bugs that are happening. I have my notes, my actually written notes of like what I want to see and the bugs. So I have bugs and I have function, and then I have my Maya file. And so yeah, this is my Maya file. This will be this is Bucky iteration number 5, or I think this is download 5. And so this another part that I wanted to talk about with Mudstack real fast before I end the stream. So now I should have had, yeah, it should have my whole library. So in here I now have my zip file. Here's my zipped finished rigs, right? That being said, I want to have individual stuff too. So I'm actually going to, at least for right now, I'm going to extract just here for right now. And so I'm going to extract all my rig stuff. And so I have my finished rigs, and I'm going to just bring this into, so this is all of like Bucky stuff. This is so animation, cart anims, Bucky rig. So let's see what this last one was real quick. I think it was, yeah, this is Bucky underscore rig, right? So this is the one that I'm really looking for, is the, let's see. Yeah, my Bucky rig right here. So let's see what it was. These are all affected today, I think. So 17, 9. So these are the old animations, but I want to actually keep these animations just in case for later, right? So, and then these are my textures for Bucky. So that's great. And then I have my Mallet Boy stuff all right here. So I have talk and some of Mallet Boy stuff in here, but I don't have a lot of Mallet Boy's animations. So these are actually all the individual animations for Mallet Boy. So I'm just gonna go throw this entire file, or this entire folder into Mudstack, and that'll keep all these different character stuff. Yeah, it'll just take a second. There we go. And so luckily, because I'm already in characters, it'll all upload in this library for characters, which is awesome. So I'm gonna keep all my animations, all my Maya files, and everything into Mudstack. Again, thank you Mudstack for sponsoring the streams, and I'm excited to use your product. This is really cool. Keeping everything safe, all this stuff safe, and then as I am iterating and creating or reporting these bugs, then I will have, say, like Bucky animation, Bucky rig, part 2, as this is version control software. So Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna let you